Welcome back to the F124 driver career here on the ChesnoidPlays channel. We are in good form and challenging, not only challenging, leading the Drivers' Championship to try and win the whole damn thing. 4 straight victories followed by a P2 in Spain. Hoping to back that up with another podium if we can in Austria this time around. A sprint weekend, of course, so plenty of on-track action on the way. So much on-track action, actually, because there's so many laps to be done. We'll be certainly doing over 100 laps, including practice, of this Austrian circuit here in the Österreich Ring, or the Red Bull Ring. So, hope you're ready. Get your cups of tea ready, get your snacks ready. Wish me luck, most importantly, and fingers crossed, we can at least maintain the lead of the championship at the very least. It's a circuit where we have done well in the past. It's a circuit we enjoy driving, but it's a circuit the AI are very good at. Little bit of rain in quali, but nothing really to worry about outside of that for the whole weekend. So let's just give it our best shot, shall we? Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more of this save. Of course, the Journeyman save continues. The RTG continues on the main channel, and Football Manager, hopefully, isn't too far away. But for now, vroom vroom. Resource points acquired, but obviously we still can't spend them. Setup feels okay, car feels good. We tweaked it slightly to take a little bit of downforce out, to make me a bit quicker in a straight line, because you know how strong the other drivers are in a straight line at this difficulty, so hopefully we can be just as competitive around the middle of the lap, but more competitive than previous down the straights. That's the plan anyway. Time to go sprint qualifying. Little wobble. Oh my god, I did a 1:27 as well. Ah! A 1:02 around Austria on mediums. God, the cars. This is where they have regulation changes in real life, because otherwise the cars get silly quick. That's on mediums. Right, okay. Bring on Q3 on the softs. Jesus. Imagine doing a 1:03.8 around Austria and being eliminated. And it's a 1:02.5. Christ. First again. It's weird that it stops quali there, though, because there were loads more drivers behind me that were still on their laps that hadn't crossed the line yet. But it still registers their times as improved. So I'm not that far ahead of anyone else at the minute, but we are driving well here. Everybody you would expect to get through is through. Both Astons, both Mercedes, both Red Bulls. Sorry, not both Red Bulls. Both Ferrari, both McLaren. 1 Red Bull and 1 RB. All right. Are we into the 1-minute ones on softs? Right, there we go. Oh, that's probably cost me pole. Just that one mistake through turn 1. Little bit of over-rotation. I could put in the perfect remainder of the lap and still probably not get pole here. A bit too sharp on exit there as well. Only a 1:02.2 from Lando. I fully expected everyone else to be in the 1-minute ones. I know it's a short lap, but I still expected them to find more than half a second. We're half a tenth down on Stroll in 6th. Through 2 sectors. And over the line, a 1:02.6. The mistake at the first turn cost me certainly 8th. We went faster on the mediums. Did a 1:02.5 on the mediums, so there's definitely more time in the car. 1:02.5, my medium tyre time would have had me in the top 5. Well, 1 millisecond between Stroll and Piastri. 1:02.643. I mean, it's less than 4 tenths off pole. DRS trains everywhere, I think, for this. But it's a winnable race, even from 6th. You know the grid for the sprint. Weirdly, it's not showing anyone's lap times there. But Lando from George, we will be in 6th. And we're aiming to finish inside the top 3. Sorry, we will start 7th.
Hamilton.
8th.
Wood.
8th, Ches. 8th. You
You
qualified 8th. I don't know where I got 6th from. Mediums all the way. My tyre wear is apparently really not very good at all, but mediums all the way. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that everybody else is also on the mediums, so it's just a case of sprint to the finish. It's giving me 4.3 laps of extra fuel. We'll go 3.5 laps of extra fuel. Be able to save some fuel in people's DRS, that's for sure. 3.5 laps of fuel for the sprint would mean, Christ, 10.5 laps of extra fuel for the full Grand Prix, which hopefully we won't need, because that would make us very heavy indeed, but we'll wait and see. We'll do our maths when the time comes. Turn 1 is tight. Turn 3 is tighter. Don't make any mistakes. Slight bit of wheel spin off the line. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1 in front. That's a yikes. Lockups everywhere. Cars battering me from behind. Tsunoda rode straight into me. And then Gasly was alongside him. Hamilton's up to 5th now. After a P7 start. Someone's coming up the inside of me. I'll be wary of that. Give him loads of room. Hello, Pierre. I want to lose any front wing. They're 3 wide behind as well now as Verstappen's trying to make up some places. I'm on your outside, Pierre. Thank you. That's P8 back again. Okay. We are where we started. Time to, hopefully, now start to move forward. DRS, you say? Thank you. I'm going to save some battery, because they're just going to concertina up around turn 3, so there's no point steaming in here. Otherwise you'll just end up losing time and wasting the battery. And running into the back of someone, which is obviously not what we want to do. Gonna have to be patient around this circuit. Yes, there is a lot of overtaking opportunities, but everybody is going to be in a DRS train, so there's going to be a lot of people that finding their defence slightly easier because they're able to just cling onto the car in front.
You might experience some understeer.
I know I'm going to get some understeer. Jesus Christ, it's not my 100th Grand Prix. If I didn't know that I was going to get understeer behind a car in front by now, I'm in the wrong sport. We're good around the final bit of the lap compared to everybody else, but I think that's mainly because they're saving tyres and I don't, which will cost me later in the race. Absolutely cost me later in the race. Hamilton and Piastri. Hamilton's maybe going slightly defensive here. I'm not gonna go for it. Like I say, we're gonna be patient. But we're already 2.5 laps in now. It's a very, very, very fast race in Austria at this stage of the career mode. Going on to the outside tyre there a little bit. Very comfortable in 8th. I just don't want to be in 8th. At some point, we're going to have to start making moves. They're really slow around 10 for some reason. Lewis has lost DRS, I think, here. They're going to be really slow on the apex.
Fastest lap of the race.
Contact between the two of them. Lewis is going to pull right across here. Box me in a bit. Oh, God. Piastri's got a bit of speed there. No, don't. Not worth it. Gasly's having a look around the outside now as well. This is getting tasty. Those in front are getting further and further away. I've lost a place, trying to make a place. Get it back, though. Excuse me, Pierre, thank you. Right, can we get past Lewis, please, Oscar? Because that front 5 are disappearing. Thankfully, it's only the sprint, so there's not a massive amount of points we'd lose by only finishing 6th, 7th or 8th. But I don't want to concede any points to my title rivals, thank you very much, if I can avoid it. Oi, 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 steady. Yeah, they slow down loads for 10. I need Piastri to not have a go here. There we go, good.
0.9 seconds.
We get a decent run through 1. And then maybe we can both get Lewis into 3. If Piastri can get the move done early. which he can't do. Try switch back. Didn't work. Just get good traction. Which way are you going, Oscar? Make a decision. Oh, God. This is so difficult. If it was just one car, you'd make a lunge. But because Oscar's so apprehensive and just has no aggression whatsoever to try and make the overtake, he's non-committal everywhere. Which means you have no idea what he's going to do at any point, so you can't commit to a move because you don't know what the car in front might do to take your front wing off. I'll take my own front wing off if I keep driving like that. It's 5 laps in. Tyres are 7 laps worn. It'll be pretty dead by the end of the race. Again, going to try an undercut here. This time I'm alongside Lewis, not tucked up behind him. We should hopefully be able to get both cars in one here. I'm going to use a lot of battery to do so. Piastri might just have been ahead of me through the detection point there. He wasn't. A lot of wheel spin for me on exit. Contact with Hamilton, but we survived. Piastri's not got DRS. I've not got DRS. We must have both been across the line exactly the same time as one another. Gasly's having a look, so I'll go a bit deeper in the braking zone. Save some battery around this part of the circuit. And then we go again next lap, up to P7. 2.7 seconds to the group in front. Whether we can catch that or not, I don't know, but hopefully we can get P6 at least and then try and pull away. Easier said than done, of course. Might have enough. It's going to be a lunge. And we nearly make it stick.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
Oh, it was a good attempt. Oh, God, Oscar, you're slow run there, mate. Oh, geez, Louise, sir, put your bloody foot down. Might just be forced to try and take him into turn 1 here. If I can be behind at the DRS point, that'd be great. We've been room on the apex, which we did. And we've got DRS. Right, burn it. Try and get down the road away from everybody behind. It's not going to be a full second, but it's going to be enough to be safe into the next braking zone, that's for sure. Right. Operation Catch the Front 5 is a go. They're battling in front. Alonso just took George Russell. Gasly's going to have a look at me again here, but continually confident enough to hold this around the outside. He says, as Gasly then just sweeps it and then parks it on the apex. I don't know, as the top 5 are going to be catchable, you know, because I just can't shake these behinds, and continually battling with these guys is going to just cost me too much time to the trio in front. I think first and second are well gone. Lando and Charles Leclerc have just disappeared. George and Fernando are catchable, are passable, but being able to open up the gap you need to this lot, really, that I'm struggling to do at the minute. If I can just get out of a second's gap from these guys. Give me room, give me room. ERS versus DRS, which is more powerful? Oscar's going for it, might be 3 wide here. We are 3 wide here. There's contact between Oscar and Gasly. I heard it.
Okay, we lost the position. Trying to keep
We
focus.
have, but it's okay. Always great racing in Austria, isn't it? Contact, and Piastri lost a bit of front wing. He just saw it fall off right in front of me. Gasly forced wide. Hamilton takes me there, and as we lose momentum, we lose another couple of places as well. Around the outside of Hamilton, still more contact between Gasly and Piastri. Very slow around turn 10. This is bloody intense, isn't it? Piastri's going to be slow here and pull around the corner. Hamilton's going to have a look too. Space on the apex. More contact for Oscar Piastri to endure there. And now we're after Gasly again. The gap in front now to George Russell, 6.3 seconds. Those guys are definitely not catchable now. It will be 6th at best for us in this Austrian Sprint Grand Prix. And Piastri, unfortunately for him, is just going to tumble now. Top 6 is still a European spot, isn't it? I'm not close enough. In footballing terms. It's Europa League at least, although we would have liked the Champions League. At the minute, I'm Conference League because I'm only P7, but if we don't get and stay in front of Gasly, I'll be very disappointed.
Green flag.
Yellow flag behind. Someone's done something. Not sure who, what, or where. I think it's a Haas retiring. Carlos Sainz is out. His engine has gone pop. He will no longer be completing the rest of this Austrian Grand Prix, Austrian sprint. Anyway, whether he has to take a penalty for that, for the main race, I don't know. We should take Pierre Gasly here now. I would like to go up the inside of turn 4, really, but maybe I'll be a bit more aggressive on the exit. Try and come across and get the move done. There we go. Stop them just careering up the inside like they have done on multiple occasions so far. Learning how to battle as the race goes on. Doing it well enough, but I just cannot shake that 1 second gap behind. Unless someone starts to fight with someone else behind me, we're just carrying everybody else along with us. Whoever's in the front of this train is carrying everyone else along with them. 16% wear on most tyres at the halfway point. These medium tyres are going to be very, very, very worn by the time we get to lap 24. It's the difference that ERS and DRS makes in combination. It's just undefendable at times. You're better off just saving your battery and going again the next lap rather than trying to fight it when you know you're going to lose it. This is why qualifying well is so important. If we'd been able to qualify where we genuinely had the pace to, we wouldn't have been involved in a battle like this because we would have started in the top 5 and been involved in that front scrap rather than getting stuck in this one. It's where strategy comes in, I guess, for the main Grand Prix. We can obviously just box early, make a pit, put some fresh tyres on, go again and try and close the gaps. But it's definitely a scenario what I want to avoid in the main Grand Prix. I don't want to replicate this over 70 laps. It's annoying enough over 24. Right. Now I've got ERS and DRS. Give it up here. Thank you. Not guaranteed this P6 because everyone's yo-yoing so much. Hamilton and Gasly fighting again. Good. 1.5 seconds the gap now, and they're going to fight into turn 4 as well. We should be, I hope, comfortable now till the end of the race with 4 laps to go when we cross the line. We're still scrapping side by side. It will be, or it certainly should be, a P6 for us here in Austria in the sprint race from now on. Yeah, they're scrapping really. Oh, hard. Don't look at your mini-map, Ches. Well, it should have been. That just cost me 0.7 of a second. Too busy talking, not concentrating on my driving, and now I've got to do that all over again. And now it's a Ferrari that's closing me down, not an RB. So as we start the final lap of the sprint, you can tell from the mini-map, Lando Norris has just pieced out up top. He is significantly clear in first place in this sprint. Charles is currently 4th, which is great for me for the championship. The 2 Astons have taken him. If Charles can finish off the podium in the main Grand Prix, that would be banging. Obviously, you imagine someone is going to have a go at someone into turn 4 here, and I think it's 1 Aston on the other. George is not having a look at the Ferrari. Fuel is about right. 3.5 laps for this sprint race with quite a bit of battling. So we're probably going to need about 10 laps for the main Grand Prix, which is mad. About 10 laps worth of extra fuel for the Grand Prix is absolutely absurd. But fair play, Lando Norris. We've been able to comfortably hold off those behind despite my little whoopsie a few laps ago to let them, or dangle the carrot of them getting back towards me again. We held them off comfortably, 10 seconds behind those in front though. Obviously we can avoid that if we can qualify better for the Grand Prix next time around. So I'll take the P6, sorry. Apparently I have no idea where I'm qualifying or finishing today. This time I actually was in 6th and I still got it wrong. Lance Stroll gets driver of the day, fair enough. We hopefully will have a good Grand Prix coming up next, but that's 3 points for the championship cause. Although I would very much like more than 3 from the Grand Prix. We'll see what the rain does. There's nobody on track at the moment. When people start going out, we'll see what they go out on. It's raining. Oh, good. Okay, we're all right. We'll save sets of tyres, and we have managed to make it through. We're in 10th on a 1 minute 3.2. Max Verstappen squeaks through, but these will be the people out. Both Saubers, both Williams, and Ollie Behrman. Because no one's going faster whilst the weather looks like that. Lovely. Good. We get away with it. Dodgy lap, but Q2 will be in the wet then, and maybe Q3 might just be in the dry. Oh, I put inters on and it's put full wets on. It's getting wetter. By not going out early, we might have made a mistake here, although everyone else appears to be on the wets as well. I didn't realise it was full wets. Full wet even. The track is definitely getting better, but I don't know.
Your teammates sitting in pole, they're in pole position.
Yeah, not for long, mate. How is the weather going to clear up? Oh, maybe for long. Dodgy around the final corner. Yep, P2. Right, let's jump back to the garage and see what happens at the end of the session. Is it going to be Inter's weather, or are we still definitely on full wets? Well, it won't let me use the other set of full wets, so I can't get a faster lap time on a new set. But hopefully that lap time is good enough. Lewis Hamilton would be out as things stand, so would Lance Stroll. Annoyingly, Charles Leclerc is the Ferrari that's through as it stands. Is everyone else going out again? They are. What are they going out on? Wets. Do we think our 1:12.2 is good enough? We certainly gained a lot of time.
I'd take a set of intermediates in these unpredictable conditions.
Okay. I'd imagine we'll be setting a faster lap, or our fastest laps on soft tyres at the end of Q3. Pole by nearly 2 seconds. Or rephrase, first by nearly 2 seconds. Not pole, there's another qualifying session for that. Everyone's out on inters at the minute, but I think we're going to be dry by the end of the session. So I'm going to not bother with an intermediate lap. And we'll go out on softs at the end of the session when everybody else does as well. Lando did a 1 minute 2 flat for his pole time. We are going to do a 1 minute 2.7. Better than 8th, I asked. No, 9th. Why can I not do a lap in Q3? Every other session, first, Q3, die. Good. FML. All right. Strategy to the rescue then. Hopefully, some grid penalties in there somewhere. Charles is starting second, which is not great for my championship, to be completely honest. What a quali bottler I've been here in Austria. Absolutely awful from me. Have to apologise. Hopefully, we start 8th. We've moved forward a spot because someone's taken a penalty, presumably Carlos Sainz, actually. But I am going to have to work very, very hard to be able to get a good finish here. It looks like it is going to be Carlos Sainz, isn't it? Yes. Oh, and Alonso too. It might have been Alonso then that took a penalty from in front of me. But Alonso being back there is good news because that means that he's not in the fight. And he's certainly part of the hunt. It's saying one stop. I could go hard first. It would probably be a bit of a risk, but I could go hard first here. Well, the medium tyres were absolutely dead at the end of the 24-lap race. I think it's probably going to end up being a two-stop. This. I don't think a one-stop is going to be quick enough. So I might start on the mediums and then go to the softs. And then run the hards. We've only got one set of medium tyres available, so I can only do one medium stint. Either way, it's not ideal, really. I don't like this. I'm probably going to go medium soft hard or medium hard soft, but it's not going to be fun, I don't think. I'm going to need to be in DRS for as long as possible. So I think I'm going to have to start on the mediums. I'd like to start on the hards, but I can't guarantee I'm going to have the pace. So we'll start with the one stop as the default, probably end up stopping early and then going to the hards, to the softs, to then try and make up as much time as possible, to then still maybe undercut a little bit on the hards and try and make up as much time as possible. I have no idea. 9.5 laps worth of extra fuel should be enough. Oh, this is going to be painful, isn't it? Probably. You'll probably enjoy it, though, as well, so stay tuned.
Okay, incredible parking there. Nice.
Well, we started 8th last time
get good launch as the race
and
starts.
finished 6th. Let's hope for better this time around. Really bogged down in the revs at the start. Going to get pinched here as well. Well, it's down to 10th. Good. Excellent start, Chesnoid. Well done. Lots of lesser cars to try and get through to get back towards the front. No point in just diving it yet, but I am going to get more aggressive earlier this time around.
That start was okay. Now stay alert for threats.
Go away, Sergio. Oscar Piastri's in amongst the mix as well again. Just going to make things even more awkward, just like before. Where we've got a fast car trying to get past slower cars, but not quite having the pace to do it, putting both of them offline more often than not. Making everybody more difficult to get through. I've absolutely balls that corner as well. Right. We have to get a move on earlier than we did last time. Otherwise, we will get dropped. Already, Lando and Charles have a bit of a gap to George, which is not great. We've just got to go for it.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available.
Force Sonoda defensive. Getting around the outside. Thank you very much. P9. Come on. I'm getting my elbows out now. Right, already over a second ahead of those cars behind. Try and maintain that gap if we can. It's Piastri, Gasly and Hulkenberg in front. Gasly and Hulkenberg should hopefully be relatively easy pickings. At least initially. Obviously we saw Gasly fight back in the sprint. But maybe with a heavier car they'll be less competitive. We'll wait and see. Most important thing at the minute for me is to not lose the front two this early on. In fact, I think Lando's disappeared on his own again. He has. Charles Leclerc is tumbling. Has Charles got damage? I think Leclerc might have damage here. He's really falling down. I think Lando and Charles Leclerc have come together. And Charles Leclerc is carrying damage. Can't see any there. No, is that... Yeah, part of the front right end plate is missing there. You see it's how it's a bit jaggedy compared to the other side that you can't see because I'm in the way. Compared to the other side that is just a smooth edge, that far side is jaggedy. Lando has hit Charles Leclerc, who's wearing the number 1, or sporting the number 1, of course, because he's world champion. But no damage to Lando that is visible. Lando Norris is on his own out front and looking to win this race pretty comfortably. I don't mind if Lando wins. He's nowhere near the championship picture at the minute, but you can see the sort of issues that Charles is starting to cause here with all of the lack of pace that he has. He's already put us nearly into the back of Piastri once. This is where we really need to get aggressive, because otherwise those behind are just going to catch up again and we're going to have a massive train once more. Whilst we say thank you to Vanes for the 7th month subscribed, 2nd in a row. Good morning, sir. Is anyone going to go for anyone down the straight? Seemingly not. Big lock up by Gasly though. Put Piastri offline. I'm now going to have the inside here.
Okay, clear.
Oh, he's going slow. Has Piastri got a puncture? Piastri might have a puncture here from the contact with Gasly. Let's keep an eye on his tyres. Did he have contact with Gasly? He didn't. Does he get a puncture though? He just goes really slow out of nowhere and the yellow flag comes out. No, nothing wrong with any of his tyres. His car has just given up. So we'll take P7. Piastri, is now going to struggle and retire. And that makes my job a hell of a lot easier. Oscar Piastri is out the race. Thank you, Oscar. Jesus Christ, Pierre, do you mind? I do still exist on the outside the corner. Bloody hell. Nearly punted me straight back into Germany there. And have DRS here too. Yellow flag for Piastri. Stranded there. Sorry, Oscar. Game over for you, pal. Picked up damage in the sprint. When something else got even more damaged in the main Grand Prix. Something internal.
Green flag.
The yellow flag, it's behind. It's a Red Bull. I think it might be Max Verstappen retiring. We've lost Piastri. We're going to lose Verstappen as well. It's Yuki Tsunoda. Misread the blue. Max Verstappen continues. It's Yuki going slowly.
Great work. You're catching the car ahead by
It's
around
us
5
going
tenths a lap.
quickly. Thank you, Nico. Don't turn into me though, pal. Come on, mate. He's going to have DRS here, annoyingly. Do not want to lose the group in front. Want to stick with them as close as we possibly can. I think Alonso keeps having a slight look at George into turn 3. It's not a massive look. And he's not actually properly committing to an overtake, I don't think. But he is just letting George know he's there. The gap in front is still just hovering between 1.5 and 2 seconds. I'm not really getting closer. Not noticeably anyway. We are definitely gapping behind though, obviously. In fact, as I say that, we might actually be a little bit closer this lap. We definitely are. Not close enough to be within DRS range yet, but we're on our way there. I'm having to drive just so focused and so consistently for like, what, 10 laps? Just nail every braking zone, nail every apex, nail every traction zone. Don't make any mistakes. And get these guys back in my sights. That is happening now. We're very nearly part of the train in front. We'll probably box at 27 maybe. It'll leave us a big stint on the hard tyres, but it's a big stint that the hard tyres should be able to do. And hopefully it will give us enough of an undercut to be able to get past...
We've got a...
Concentrate, Chess. Enough of an undercut to be able to get past the cars in front. Through the pit phase. I might go for Lewis here. I'm going to go for Lewis here. On the outside at 3. Thank you, Lewis.
Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful.
Thought he'd give it up, to be honest. I think he's just dangle his nose only in at the apex. Shouldn't affect the way the car drives too much, I don't think. A little bit of contact. So the sprint race ended at the end of the next lap. So this is as far as we took the medium tyres previously. It wants me to box 32. I'm probably going to box about 27, I'd imagine. To try and undercut in front of these three, or whoever's left in front of me. And close the gap on Lando a little bit. Will mean we'll have significantly more worn tyres than everybody else at the end of the race. We may well be hanging on a little bit. But if there's a safety car, we've got enough sets of softs to smack out some good laps. I might even be tempted to still do the two-stop, whack on a set of softs, and just smash some laps in. But I don't know how fast the softs will last at a decent pace. So I might be tempted to keep them for a potential safety car. It's a bit of an unknown at the minute. We definitely have more pace than the guys in front at certain parts of the track, but they're definitely faster than me at others, so...
Okay, be aware,
it's like,
grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
It's going to be a bit like the sprint here, in that we might well have the pace to overtake, but we're not going to have the pace to pull away. I could try and make a move here, but we're going to box this lap. So I'm going to continually just sit behind, suck up the DRS, try and gap those behind even further.
Right, let's have
and then fingers crossed
lap,
we can undercut the three in front. I'll be very surprised if we don't undercut the three in front, given the current situation. The underfloor damage will start to hurt later in the Grand Prix, and it will hurt our tyres as well. Just didn't expect Lewis to hang on in there when we made the overtake, but it's what it is. Take the damage on the chin. We still evidently got the pace. But we are boxing this lap. In we come. For the hard tyres, for we believe, at least aiming for, just a one-stop race.
Okay,
good stop.
Go.
Thank you, gentlemen.
That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
I'm not quite going to make it out in front of that group that's about to come past, unfortunately, so we might well have some traffic here, but
that was our last
try and make
stop.
as much time as we possibly can.
Let's go.
Through these next few laps where we will have the tyre advantage. Little bit of air, a little bit of air. I need to make sure that I bang in the lap times now for laps 29, 30, 31 and 2. I'm going to have a 4-lap undercut, and I need to not get stuck behind this traffic.
They're on old mediums. They're in second. Time last lap 1 minute 06.9.
Up the inside at turn 10, you love that. And then turn 1. And then turn 3. I'm probably not going to be quite close enough to Checo here, but we'll do it into turn 4 at the very least.
Smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
They were a couple of very clean overtakes. Enjoyed those. Cheeky turn 10 overtake again, toodaloo. Right, that's P9. Now we've got a considerable bit of air, 3 seconds or so. Expecting everyone else to start boxing this lap on 32 or 3, depending if they decide to or not to double stack. Last time I asked, the gap to George was 19.5 seconds. It is now.
Okay, so the current fastest lap, 1:05.
I don't know because I asked for the wrong thing. Let me try that again, shall we?
Gap to your teammate
19,
ahead,
so we've gained about half a second.
0 seconds. They're on old mediums.
That's whilst
They're
in the
second.
traffic.
Your last lap time, 1 minute, 06.
They're not in yet, they're still going.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 1.9 seconds.
Nobody in yet. Continually the opportunity to undercut. See by the gap to Max over that last lap how much we're gaining on some of these cars. Fastest lap of the race, 105.4. Our tyres obviously are going to have to go a long way. But these hards can last a long time. 2% wear on all but the front right after 4 laps worth of racing. They will last very well. It's just a case of whether they'll last long enough to keep us competitive enough at the very end of the Grand Prix. Let's ask about George again.
Right, the gap to the
17.7, that's a 1.3 second advantage just this lap alone now that we're not in traffic.
And the time last lap,
And they're in as well at the end of 33. So we were...
in the pits. He's in the pits now.
We lost, well, we gained by half a second when people were in the way. And we gained by 1.5 seconds when we had free air. We are going to take George Russell here. The undercut has worked beautifully. The gap to Lando is now 6, less than 6. We're now running P4, but a net P2. I've got a 2.5 second gap to George, my teammate, who's running a net P3. We are currently on for a double Mercedes podium as it stands. Question is, can I catch Lando or can I not for the victory? That was the question we were asking at the last Grand Prix, and the answer was definitely no. Lando got the win, we came home second. Might be deja vu here. But we've got 37 laps to find out. We're very nearly at half race distance. And we are now going to be into that net P2 as we set another fastest lap of the race. There might not be much happen for the next 30 laps. But if I concentrate to the best of my ability for 30 laps, maybe we can catch Lando. It'll be P2 or 3. I think we'll be battling with our teammate at the end. I'm not going to battle with him too much when he gets to me. There's no point battling on lap 42 of 71. There's still 30 laps to go. Maybe we could work together, DRS off each other to try and catch Lando, but 8 seconds is a hell of a gap to try and overturn. But George is definitely faster than me right now. And Leclerc and Stroll would definitely be catching as a duo as well if they weren't scrapping, which is effectively what we're trying to avoid for me and George with regards to Lando in front and ultimately them behind as well. I think it's going to be second or third. We'll just try and time it right so that we're the one in second and George is the other Mercedes on the podium one step lower down, but he has more pace than me right now. Tyres are 10 to 12% worn. I am settling for a P2 or 3, which is still great because it's ahead of Charles Leclerc. Although if Lando keeps winning like this, he'll soon become part of this picture as well. Charles Leclerc won 3 straight races, I won 4 straight races, and Lando is about to win back-to-backs and go for 3 straight Grand Prix at Silverstone next time out. And McLaren is seemingly very fast right now. Not that you'd be able to tell from Oscar Piastri, but he's been having reliability issues of both engine parts and, unfortunately for him on the odd occasion, talent as well. George has officially caught me. Lando has officially gone. Charles Leclerc and Lance Stroll are officially closing. But when George overtakes me, and it is a when, not if, I'm going to sit in his DRS and just protect myself from the two behind. I'll try and nab George for a P2 at the end of the race. But I think protecting my own Grand Prix, just sat in his DRS, not really battling with him, is probably the best way to manage the best possible result for us as an individual. As a team, we'll definitely get a 2-3. And based on outright pace at the moment, it's George that would get the 2. But with DRS and ERS and tactical overtaking, we might be able to be the ones that get that 2. I was hoping George wouldn't overtake me into turn 1 there, because that's going to cost us time. It's cost us half a second back to Charles Leclerc and co. I'm now not going to attack George at all, because he's just the faster car, and we'll try and maintain the gap behind.
Okay, mate, our fuel usage rate is higher than we need it to be, so please let's try and back off a little bit and make it last.
I can now do that, actually, because I'm going to be easing off in some braking zones behind George Russell. Fuel was always going to be tight here, but this should guarantee everything, really. Our final position and us making it to the end without running out of petroleum spirit. We are now coming up to a bit of traffic. 9 laps to go. And the traffic is in the midst of
right, let's not stay
quite a fight
for too long. We need to get past.
This could be slightly awkward to try and get through. There are 4 cars to lap here. And I need to stick with George through this group to then hopefully overtake him in the last few laps. We still feel pretty confident we can overtake George in the last few laps and stay ahead of him. But getting through this section of traffic unscathed is easier said than done. Théo Pourchaire didn't make that very easy around turn 10. Albon has made it much more simple down the straight. And we're still with George. There's a Sauber just a little ways down the road now as well, but we've negotiated that group of cars well enough. Captain Leclerc and Stroll is still hovering about 3.5 seconds. He did get up as high as 4 to 4.5. He's come back down again. Obviously, they've got to get themselves through the traffic now as well. Gap to Lando continues to grow. Lando Norris is the man in form right now. Was me. I mean, we're still getting podiums every week, so I'm not exactly out of form. But we're not as red hot as we were. We were very certainly gifted the Canadian win. And we got pretty fortunate the round before that as well. So, Esteban, let me go too, please. Thank you. So even though we haven't won for 2 races, we probably might not have won for at least 3, if not maybe 4, if it weren't for fortuitous circumstances. So whilst, yes, we're top of the championship, and yes, we were on a win streak, and yes, we're still driving very well, it is absolutely not a done deal, this World Drivers' Championship yet. And I think now, on lap 65 or 71, is when I start to try and put the hammer down. Get in front of George, and then try and stay in front of George. If possible. Getting in front is one thing, it's the staying in front I'm not so sure about. As long as we don't bin each other off and ruin the result for the team, then it's fine. 4 laps to go. Going to get DRS off the back of Zhou Guanyu here, which is very handy indeed. We took George a couple of laps ago, as you saw. I've been running in hot lap actually with a battery for a little while now. Our setup has the rejuvenation of our battery set high enough that I can run in hot lap and not really need to use my ERS too much to stay ahead of George when he has DRS. I'm able to manage the gap at the minute. The gap to Charles and Stroll is growing. They're actually fighting like crazy with one another whilst trying to get through the traffic, which is causing them to drop loads of time on us. They've lost about 2 seconds whilst coming through that traffic. Not only that, Stroll has been ahead of Charles Leclerc quite regularly as well. And if Lance can finish ahead of Charles, I'd be absolutely thrilled. It would be more points away from my main championship rival. I'd be really intrigued to see where Lando is in the standings after this round of the championship. 3 laps to go. I feel comfortable enough in front of George right now. We've got another couple of cars in front with some traffic as well that we might be able to get DRS off to help too. And hopefully we can bring it home in P2 and 3 for the team, with me being the 2. George is going to go for it here. On the penultimate lap. We're in quite the battle with our teammate now. Save the battery. Get him next lap if we can. I didn't want to use all my battery defending on this lap to then not have any battery to defend next lap. I'd rather he gets me and then I go for it again. We'll have 100% batteries across the line. We'll whack it into hot lap mode, and we'll have
make use of the overtake button.
our overtake button as well, and DRS. We should hopefully come home in second here. Lando, 15 seconds down the road now, is going to get a very comfortable victory.
Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
Hopefully George doesn't get any DRS on the 2 in front, which I think he might here. So this is going to be really awkward on the final lap with 2 cars in front vying for their own position as we come through, vying for positions on the podium. It's Ricciardo and Gasly. Fuel is low. ERS is going to make it, and I should from here see it through. These 2 are going to battle very, very hard all the way to the line, but they need to let us through here. Gasly has. Ricciardo's going to try and do it, but he's going to park it on the apex, make it very difficult indeed. But then he's parked it in front of Russell as well. Well, even without the traffic, we would have seen it through because we managed that very well indeed. Fuel, almost perfection, look. Very nearly exactly what we needed in the car. Lando Norris wins for the 2nd race in a row. We come second for the 2nd race in a row. We'll take the podium after starting 8th in both the sprint and the full Grand Prix. To have come home in 2nd in the main Grand Prix is pleasing and shows what we could have done in the sprint had we not got stuck behind Pierre Gasly and lost that front few at the beginning of the sprint Grand Prix. Driver of the day as well to add to our happiness there, and we'll take it very gladly indeed. Now, what does that do for the World Drivers' Championship? Lando gets 33 points. I get 22 over the course of the weekend. Leclerc gets 17. So we will extend our lead over Charles Leclerc by 5 points, but I have a funny feeling Lando Norris is going to bring himself into this. We're very nearly 91 rated now. And we are finally on par with George Russell in the recognition, which is excellent. Now then, what does the World Championship look like? It's Silverstone next, I think, after Austria. Pretty sure it's Silverstone next after Austria, having taken Monaco out of the championship, and it is indeed our home Grand Prix next. We're leading the championship rivalry with Charles Leclerc. We're leading the driver rating rivalry with Lewis Hamilton. The McLaren is still the fastest car, although as you can see, ourselves, McLaren, Ferrari and Aston Martin are all basically as quick as each other. Red Bull is starting to make some returns, but certainly that whole group are a certain step behind still. And Lando's pulled himself into 3rd with those back-to-back victories. He's now above Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari. We have a 21-point lead at the top of the championship. But Lando Norris is coming, and if he keeps up his run of form, then we are not going to be top for long. Great Britain is always a very difficult circuit to try and get a good result at because the AI are very strong there. We DNF'd there last year. We got a P4 the year before in the Ferrari, and in Season 1 in the Haas, it was a rather unimpressive P15. So we'll try and keep the podium streak going if we can. To win my home Grand Prix would be lovely, but I certainly can't guarantee anything at the moment, can I? Because Lando Norris is very quick. It's pleasing to see Charles Leclerc have a couple of off races, in fact, a handful of off races, and mixed conditions for the race. Rain at the end to add a curveball. Stone dry at the beginning, stonking hot, and then we'll be swimming by the end. Is there anything more British Grand Prix than that? Join me in the next episode for that Grand Prix, our home Grand Prix as a driver, and hopefully we can have ourselves a cheeky little podium or maybe even a win as well. We'll play it by ear, but we should be 91 rated by the end of that race weekend, and we can't improve the car anywhere else until we get to level 60, or until we get to 60%, I don't believe. George is still continually improving everything on the car, though. We are maxed out on the weight distribution. Hamilton actually did that. Christ. And Russell is keeping us going in most other areas as well. So the car is still very, very good, but I can't improve it anymore. And at the minute, George isn't improving it anymore either. But nobody else is improving it further still. So it's absolutely fine. Ferrari haven't improved at all season. So this must be as quick as anybody can get right now. Which is fine by me. I'll take it. Still top of the championship, and our lead extends, although there is perhaps the changing of the guard at the minute, and it's a certain other British driver that is starting to take the fore. Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you don't miss out on any more content here on ChesnoidPlays or Chesnoid Gaming. Thank you very much for watching. Come and join me on stream to watch every lap and every minute of every session and every game live. Links in the description to that. But for now, I'll see you in the next one.